Let's begin indeed. Hello people, Jerry speaking. Welcome to TheCrazyBunch's WebShow number 146. I was supposed to air last Sunday, and unfortunately I haven't made it last Sunday because I was doing my own personal thing, holiday shopping and all that. I'm sorry that it couldn't happen doing it. But I'm here now, but sorry I was doing it on Wednesday instead of a Sunday. What I was doing on Wednesday? Well, I was busy, and stressed, and seeing the Grinch movie in theaters. Well, but it'll be back to normal Sunday schedules on this is coming up Sunday, as promised. So, first things first, we're gonna do not one, not two, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dev topics today, and that should be it for this episode. Let's talk about right now, shall we? So we got for us. Let's start with Sir Humphrey McGuire Burton, born that Sir Humphrey McGuire Burton, Anyway, let's look at it. Was an English classical music television presenter. Which I know classical music is not my thing. Boring. But anyway, television presenter. Anyway, broadcaster, director, producer, show watcher, biographer of musicians. Burr was recognized as the 2020 New Year Honors Senior Classical Music, which I'm not a huge fan of, but the arts and the media. He was born in 1941, March 25th, in Tarbridge, Worcester, Burton, England. Anyway, Burr attended Longbrighton Collegiate Programming School from 1943 to 1947. The Judge School from Cambridge from 1947 to 1949. He performed 18 months in National Service in the Royal Corps and Signals, while studying music history at Cambridge House, Cambridge, England. From 1951 until 1954, he then spent a year in France on the French government scholarships, researching musical life in the 18th century, before joining the BBC Radio as temporary studio manager in 1955. He was second to record programming's production unit and began regular broadcasts with the Transatlantic turntable in 1957. The following year, he was transferred to BBC Television, joined the production team of the news arts programming Monitor. He directed many studio programmings and film documentaries, working alongside Ken Russell, John Solange, David Jones, and Peter Newington, rising to the post of the editor, in session with manager Hugh Lowry in 1962. His later career began with this. Byrne helped start the BBC productions from the opening of the BBC Two. Wow. Launched in April 1964. The following year was appointed the BBC's first head of music of arts 1965 until 1967. Anyway, 65. He won BATFA's top award for the year, then STFA, something like that, for creativity in the music programming. Creators include the Gory Ray, El Gore producer, music masterclass and some workshop. He then worked for 8 years in commercial television, being one of the founding members of the London Weekend Television. But where after the spell of head of drama arts music, he resigned from management and devised, and presented the award-winning art series Inquiries from 1970 to 1975, forerunner of South Bank Show. His writing credits includes the Great Glory Rays and Alfred Brendel, Autonomy of Record. He returned to BBC for a second term in the head of music and arts, creating such long-running strays beyond the musician of the year in the arena until 1981. When age 50, he resigned from management and concentrated on direction. Stayed with the BBC until 1988 as editor of forest programming and director of proms and opera relays in the Royal Opera House, English National Opera, and Garboard and Scottish Opera. Bernstein's pronounce it candidate pronounce it, sorry, for he directed the whole premiere of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Requirement in 1985 and produced the Making the West story, West Side Story. Anyway, Freeman's work has begun in 1970 when he produced and directed an Emmy-winning bisexual portrait entitled Beethoven's Birthday, which is boring. I hate Beethoven. Sorry, for CBS TV. For later shows on A&E and for VHS and DVD releases. The program was entitled Birthday of Beethoven. I hate Beethoven to death. Anyway, a celebration of being something like that. Anyways, a 20-year association with conductor composer Leonard Bernstein followed. He directed over 170 documentaries and film concerts, including cycles of symphonies of Mahler, Beethoven, I know these two, especially Schumann, Brahms, and many others are boring. I love the Bay movie, but I don't like other movies, okay, per se. But yeah, anyways, as well as Bernstein's own compositions, compilations. But anyway, the film was also about almost all produced for the Money Company Utah. He also worked with other great conductors. He could, which is stupid, I know. It was on the pianos, he couldn't. These pianos are stupid, I know. He was a great guest director of the Hollywood Bowl in 1983 and good director of the 10 Awards and 70th birthday bash in 1988. He served as honorary advisor in the Barbarian 1988 to 1991, where he was responsible for the award-winning festival and Scotsman artist entitled Tender and Sonora. At the birthday died in 1990. Well, Burns spent 3 years in New York researching and writing his biography, Bernstein's Life, in 1994. As the musician biographies followed, Johan Maschen in 2000 and William Walton, the romantic brother OEP in 2002, co-authored with Martin Murphy. For a decade after his return from New York, his work in the U.S. and Europe as director and /or programming presenter of classical music for classic FM and radio free, opera, ballet, and documentaries, and of course music compilations. He celebrated his 70th birthday by conducting various I just hate this name for the death. Anyway, so much. Requiem of the Royal Opera Hall, raising £75,000. Wow. For the Composite Research Charity. Later in 2001, he moved to Albertburg, where he has been president of the Albertburg Music Club. Since 2010, he has been presented 15 seasons in the Maltese Musicales in the local cinema. In 2011, he mounted an Albertburg weekend to mark his 80th birthday. He was awarded 4 Emmys, the 2 British Academy Television Awards, the World Television Society Silver Medal, and the Sony Gold Award. He supported the CPE and the Millennium Honors in 2000. Personal life and death. In 1957, he married Grail Davis, but the couple later divorced. In 1970, he married Swedish radio television presenter Christina Hangard. And he has 6 children. Chris Hockey, born in 1949. Claire Dable, television producer and school teacher, born in 1959. Matthew Burton, actor, director, drama teacher, born in 1962. Alina Burton, artist and art therapist, born in 1968. Lucas Byrne, television and film composer and producer, born in 1971. Sylvia Byrne Hill, mother of Skilly Hauser, a television and radio presenter, born in 1981. He died earlier today. He was at his home. I'm not sure where at. He was 94 years old. Next step, top has to do with Gil Gillard, born Gilbert Gillard. He was an American actor whose roles included Captain William Buck Rogers in 1979-1981 television series Buck Rogers' 25th Century. He was born in 1943, January 23rd, Little Rock, Arkansas, and the youngest of 3 sons. to a college instructor, mother, salesman, father. In 1960, he attended Margaret Call Seminary in Gwen, Illinois, played a title role in the all-male production of Music Man. He graduated from Milwaukee Catholic High School for the boys. He attended the University of Central Arkansas, but dropped out before graduation. Wow. Yeah, that was sad. No. His career began with this. He traveled to New York City, where he studied drama by day, the drama taxi cab at night. George picked up the fare, who showed up of lively interest in the problems of unknown unemployed actors. Before he left the cab, he joked Gerard the report in a few days, as said in the love story, were being filmed in a location in New York. When Gerard arrived in the love story set, he was hired an extra. Wow. Later that day, he was singled out in the big part. When he's not included in the finished film, during the next few years, he has met most of his acting in television commercials, also 400. Wow. Including stand-up spokesman for the Ford Motor Company. Wow. After small roles in the gay-themed film, most of my best friends are in 1981. The film Millicent Man the Swing in 1974. Gerard gained a prominent role in the daytime soap opera The Doctors for 2 years. To go on before his own production company and partner with the writer-producer, co-authored the screenplay called Hutch in 1977. Filming the starring vehicle for himself. Wow. With Hutch completed, tried California with the co-star with Yasmin Mominix in Rassman for Alice in 1977. And played Lee Grant's youthful mother in Universal's Airport in 1977 and 1977. He appeared in 1977 in an episode of Hawaii Five-O episode named The Knife Step as Marty Cobb, a former cop and recovery alcoholic. A guest appearance in Little House of Prairie impressed producer star Michael Landon, who cast him in the leading role of the 1978 TV movie Killing Stowe. Wow. Now, oh yeah, okay, makes sense, okay. Gerard Van Damme landed his best known role as Captain William Buck Rogers in the TV series Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, which ran from 1979 to 1981, which was the full feature-length pilot episode being released by some months prior to the first broadcast of the series. After this, he was featured in a number of the other television shows and movies, including some roles in the 1982 television movie Hear No Evil as Dragon, a short-lived series Sidekicks in 1986, and Earth Force in 1990. Come on, scroll down. Anyway. Come on, really? In 1992. Anyway, there we go. 1992, Gerard hosted a reality TV series called Free, which followed firefighters in different areas in the United States who responded to emergency calls. With the show ran on Fox Television Network until the following year. For the remainder of the 1990s, Gerard made the appearance of television TV shows including Fish Police, Barry Love, Big Easy, Days of Lives, and Pacific Blue. In January 2007, Gerard was the subject of the one-hour documentary Action Hero Makeover, which was written, produced, and directed by his long-time companion, Ashley Crow, for the Discovery Health Channel. This film documented his year-long progress after ongoing life-saving mammogram bypass surgery in October 2005. Wow. According to the program, he had been struggling with his weight for 4 years. Wow. Losing weight only to gain it back. Wow. By the time he was part of program's production, his weight had risen over 350 pounds. Wow. 159 kilograms. He had made by friend health issues in the several productions with the type 2 diabetes. Within 5 days of the surgery, he lost 20 pounds, 9 kilograms. In the 3 months, he had lost 80 pounds, 26 kilograms. Within 10 months, he had lost a total of 145 pounds. Wow, 66 kilograms. Wow. Gerard is uncle his Buck Rogers co-star, Aaron Gray, reunited in 2007 for the TV film Nuclear Hurricane. He was also returned to the Buck Rogers universe by playing the character's parents in the pilot episode of James Cawley's Buck Rogers Begins, airing that video series in 2009. Well, he also co-starred as Ami Jack Shea in Jiboa, the January 1st, 2014 episode of the fan web series Star Trek Phase 2. In 2015, Gerard voiced Megatron in Transformers but Roberts in Disguise. Personal life and death. By the end of the 80s, Gerard had been married and divorced 4 times. Wow. His first marriage in the 60s to the surrogate in his home state, Arkansas, lasted just 8 months. Moving to New York, preserved the acting abilities. His second marriage to a bank executive was equally troubled through the last on and off for 7 years. Following his move to Los Angeles in the late 70s, he married model actress Connie Shoya in 1979. Their son, Gilbert Vincent Gerard, or Gib for short, was born in 1981. The 7-year marriage began to disarray following the cancellation of Gerard's show Buck Rogers in the 25th century, squeezing addiction to drugs, alcohol, and overreacting. Wow. The marriage was formally dissolved in 1987. Wow. Following a bitter custody battle, they gave Surya Maine custody and their son. Wow. Gerard married again the same year to Russia's designer Bobby Renard. Though the marriage lasted only a year, it was formally dissolved in 1989. His fifth wife was Janet Gerard, whom he married for 12 years until his death in 2025. The couple resided in the northern part of my home state of Georgia. Wow. He was frank about his bout of addictions. Although he went through this recovery, the addictions to cocaine and alcohol following the divorce of Soroka in the mid-80s. Well, his compulsive eating habits increased, and he would find himself divorcing unhealthy portions of junk food. Wow. By 1988, he weighed 300 pounds, 136 kilograms. He used a self-help treatment for his addiction. Though he estimated that his weight problem had caused him to work abilities in the region of $1 million. By 1990, he weighed 220 pounds, 100 kilograms. Yesterday, Joe's wife Janet announced on Facebook that he had been died earlier that day following rare and eventually in the form of cancer. He was 82 years old. The next step tells us of Norman Parhores. Born Norman Howard Parhores, he was an American magazine editor, writer, political commentator. He described his views as proud non-native, but only because he was been in Wandy so long. He was a writer of a community magazine. He served as a politician and editor-in-chief from 1960 to 1995. Year he was born. But anyway, he was also a member of the executive committee for the Writers and Hearts for Peace in the Middle East, a pro-Israel group. The son of Jewish alien Warner Parhores, on that, Jewish immigrants, from the Central European region of God's US, on that. Excuse me. Then Poland, now Ukraine. Wow. Norman Harmon Parhores was born January 16, 1930, in Brownsburg, Brooklyn, New York. Wow. Where he was also raised. His family left with that. Was an elder sister, joined the Socialist Youth Movement. He skipped 2 grades and attended the British Boys High School, the Bedford Scottish neighborhood. Anyway, eventually graduated third in his class in 1946. His classmates include the Provost Emeritus William W. Olive, and advertising executive Carl Smaglio. For that. following his mission to Harvard University, New York University, with Parliamentarian scholarships. The Parliament immediately allowed to attend Columbia University, where he granted a full Parliamentary scholarship. In 1950, he received a BA degree in English literature from Columbia, where he was mentored by Manuel Troy. He commercially earned a second bachelor's degree in Hebrew literature for the nearby Jewish Tribal Society of America. Although he never attended to enter the rabbinate, his father always attended studies on the high holidays, wanting to ensure that his son was known as in the Jewish traditionalist people, as a non-observant World War Jew, who treasures the Uzbek tradition. As being awarded the fellowship for Columbia and the Fulbright scholarship, he later received his second BA in literature with first-class honors at Oxbridge MA, Clare College, Cambridge. With Baby's purge, doctoral studies after rejecting a graduate fellowship at Harvard. He also served in the United States Army from 1953 to 1955 as a draft liaison to the Army Security Agency. Wow. Now, his career began with this, and it's a long story. I'm not going to read everything, but that's just me, from his point of view. But anyway, he served as the Commentary Magazine editor-in-chief from 1960, where he replaced Elliot A. Cullen until his time until 1995. He was born. But he remained committee's editor-at-large until his death. Wow. In 1963, he wrote the essay "My Negro, N-E-G-R-O," not the A word, okay? I'm not going to say it in front of the audience, sorry. Problem in R's with that, in which he described the operations he felt from the African Americans as a child. Okay? It concluded by calling the colorblind, Scotty, and, evading the wholesale merging the two races, as, the most, disagreeable, for everyone is concerned with that. From 1981 to 1987, he was advisor to the U.S. Information Agency. From 1995, he was born in 2003. He was senior fellow at the Hudson Institute, something like that. He was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by George W. Bush in 2004. The award recognized his actual contributions as editor-in-chief of Commentary Magazine, as an senior fellow at the Hudson Institute. He was one of the original signatories to the Statement Principles of the Project and Net New American Century, filed in 1997. That organization was sent a letter to President Clinton in 1998, misfucking years while there. Obviously, the removal by force of Saddam Hussein in Iraq. He received the Guardian Zion Award in Barbara University in May 24th, 2007. Wow. Anyways, he served as senior foreign policy advisor to Ruby Gary in 2008 personal campaign. The same year, he publicly avoided the American attack in Iran. Wow. Now, his 2009 book, Why Are Jews Rebel, questions why American Jews for decades has been Democrats, been supporting the party by margins of better than 200 to 1. Even years of Republican ran slides when they were personal life and death. He attended the disruptive Jewish Senate wage known as Bunch on Series Plane at the preparations of his members of religious services. He was married to author Midge Detter from 1956 to her death in 2022. Together they have two children, syndicated columnist and security editor-in-chief John Paulus, American Israel journalist. Ruby Bombs from that. He said in early 2019, his large family mentioned him potential views. If Trump doesn't win in 2020, I would despair. The future, I have 13 grandchildren and 12 great-grandchildren. They have hostages of the fortune. So I don't have the luxury of not caring what's going on happening after I'm gone. Partially live in the upper east state of Manhattan. He died from pneumonia in Manhattan on December 16th, 2025. He was 95 years old. The next step, top answer of Joe Ely. Yeah, E-Y-Y, not the other one, Ray Rob. Anyways, born that name, he was American singer, songwriter, guitarist. He was one of the main movers in Austin, Texas, progressive country scene from the 1970s to the 1980s. He had a Johnny crossing career, former Bruce Springsteen, Uncle Tabio, Lost Super 7, The Cliftons, James McCurry, The Clash, Love Velvet, who did You Got a Friend With Me with Ray Newman, baby, John Hewlett, and finally, Guy Clark. Born out in Texas on February 9th, 1947. Anyway, he spent his teenage years in Lubbock, Texas, and attended Marbury High School. In 1971, with fellow Marbury musicians Jimmy Dale Gilmore, Butch Hancock, something like that. He formed the Flatlanders, something like that. According to Eli, something like that. Jimmy Gilmore was like a country music performer. Bad. He was everything about it. And Butch was from the folk world, something like that. Anyway, I was kind of the rock and roll guy, and we almost had a trade. Well, we had started playing a lot together. They opened up a whole new world I never known existed. In 1972, the band recorded their first album. Because the band's initial breakup, according to that, just after their first album was cut, the three musicians had followed initial paths, now have appeared together in each other's albums. They have formed 2002's Now Again. Now it's so cool to begin with this. Wow. His first self-titled album was released in 1977. The following year, he's played with London again. We met punk rock group The Clash, despite their each other's performances. For two bands later, tour again. Wow. Cool appearance in Ollie's hometown of Lubbock, as well as Robbio and Klein Jordan in Mexico. Born from El Paso, Texas, The Clash played tribute to Joe Ollie by recording lyrics where there's no better blend but Joe Ollie, this Texas man. In the lyrics of their song If Music Could Talk, wow, okay, that was released in 1980, the album Saturday Moxie, so wow, okay. So that's what I'm gonna say, like, I sang the backing vocals of the Clash single, Should I Stay or Should I Go? Joe Strummer planned to record the LA's band, but died before that after it happened. One of LA's greatest regrets. Another question was Dutch guitarist Terry, wow, who had been recording letters radio in 1995. He was born, twisted away in 1998. Throughout his career, he was issued the steady stream albums, both MBCA label, the live album roughly every 10 years. On May 1st, 1982, Joe Ellie's might have pronounced it, sorry, anyway. Scroll down, please. Thank you. It was part of the first annual Toronto Jam in Lubbock with a crowd of 25,000 people. Wow. The jam included one set, Leon Russell, Joe James Madap, the Fabulous Thunderbirds, the Cricket. The first Toronto Jam was fundraised up to help Robert after the Toronto tornado. Wow. plus the name Tornado Jam of a crowd of 35 people. Wow. In the late 90s, he was asked to write songs for the soundtrack of Robert Redford's movie, The Horse Whisperer. Wow. He was directed reforming the Five Letters and Gilmore and Hancock. Wow. New album, The Trio, followed in 2002, The third in 2004. Wow. February 2007, he released Happy Songs for Rattlesnake Gulch on his own label, Rock Elm Records. Wow. Okay, makes sense. Yeah. Said in an interview with Country Stereotype that probably would be easier to release the material on his own label instead of doing the regular labels, something like that, and release cycles. The book of Alice Riley's Buyer of Road Maps was published in early 2007 by the University of Texas Press. In early 2008, he released a new live album featuring Joel Guzman and accordion, according to the Cactus Cafe in Austin, Texas, late 2006. The Flatliners released their album Hills and Valleys in March 2009. In 2011, he released a commercially acclaimed album, Satisfied Last. Treasure Love It by Flatliners released in 2011 on his Rackham Records, a label. In September 2015, he released his Panhandle River, album of the West Texas feel. Monster Music Magazine said this. The title fits the record just right. Nearly framing a dozen songs that fit together romantically like a map of both the West Texas landscape and his a decade spanning musical ramble. He spent 2016 as Rosati, Texas State musician. 1 year resignation, which he formally accepted the Conservatory of the State Legalizer that spring. In October 2022, he was inducted to the Austin State Limits Hall of Fame. His illness and death goes like this. In September 2025, he announced he had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease and Lewy body dementia. He died from Parkinson's disease and dementia and phenobia at his Taos, New Mexico home on 2 days ago, which is last Monday. He was 70 years old. And this lawsuit against Universal Music Group. On February 5th, 2019, he and John Waite filed a class action lawsuit against Universal Music Group, UMG for short, claiming the company was violating their right to terminate grants and copyright for 35 years in his coalition to copyright law in the United States by ignoring termination. May 3rd, 2019, UMG filed a motion to dismiss the case, saying that noise and termination were not violated because the songs were not granted to copyright, but the works are for hire. Wow, I'm surprised at you. Anyways, my next topic has to do with Carl Carson. Born that day, he was an American R&B, soul, and funk singer and songwriter. Best known in the hits Everlasting Love, She's a Bad Mama Jama, She Sack. He was born in Detroit, Michigan on May 21st, 1952. He began his career in the mid-1960s as Little Carl Carlson. He was a marketing employee to capitalize some of the vocal similarities to Stevie Wonder. Wow. Okay. Who records under the name Little Stevie Wonder in the early 1960s. His first song recordings were from Randall One Records, like that, which he recorded some of the minor local hits, including So What and Don't You Need a Boy Like Me. In 1968, Don D. Robbie signed Carlson to the Backbeat record label, which Robbie had started in 1957, something like that. Wow. Anyways, shortly after signing the label, he relocated to Houston, Texas to be closer with the new label. Wow. His career began with this. His first single with Backbeat Records, Compassion Hate Nothing, but become his huge hit in the UK Northern Soul scenes after release in the UK's Action Records label. He was listed as one of the Crashbox Best R&B hit at August 1970 in the December 26th issue of the magazine. In January 1971, Carlson had a hit in the Billboard's best-selling solo single, something like that. Charts in the I Can Feel It. It spent 3 weeks in the charts, peaking at number 27. Wow. He finally saw major success in the United States with a cover version of the Robert Knight Everlasting Love. The song went to number 6 in 1974 in the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. Wow. Number 11 in the Billboard R&B charts. Spent 15 weeks in the Billboard Hot 100 charts. Bad Beat Records owner Robbie sold his label ABC Records in 1972. Now, ABC Records released the imagery album You Can't Stop a Man in Love. Wow. Now, a combination of Carlson's Harry hits. Began in 1976. He been involved in the royalty dispute with ABC Records that caused him to stop recording for some time. He signed a deal with Mercury Records in 1977, releasing You, Something Wrong that year. That same year. Anyway, he was unable to run a new recording contract for several years until Leon Haywood helped him get a single deal with 20th Century Records. Wow. Haywood penned her single, She's a Mad Mama Jama. She built, she stacked. Became a hit in 1981. Peaked number 2 on the sales charts, earned Carlson a Grammy Award nomination for Best R&B Vocal Performance, Male, in the 24th hit annual Grammy Awards 1982. The track being at number 34 in the UK singles charts. Charleston's second album, Charles Carlson, went gold in 1981. She built Bad Mama Jama became a single sample. The combination albums and soundtracks for this often sampling rap music, which I'm not a huge fan of. Sorry. Now, he's continued to release albums in about his 1981 album, and including 1985's Private Property and 1984's Main Event. But his service albums were less popular and the creative output declined in the 1980s. Now, this saddens me, I know. In 2023, he was featured in many R&B stars such as Aretha Franklin, Reverend Love and Soul edition on the PBS series American Soundtrack. His performance on Everlasting Love was included in the comedy The Live album was released in 2004. In August 1st, 2010, he released his first gospel single, Listen, God is Good. Okay? In April 2011, he was nominated for a Detroit Music Award in Outstanding Gospel Christian Vocalist category. Later life and death, he suffered the commission of a stroke in 2019. He died on December 14th, 2025. It was last Sunday. He was 73 years old. The next death topic is Anthony Gurry, born that name better as Tony Dean Gurry. Anyway, he was a American actor. His career spanned over more than 4 decades. Wow. Getting an episode of television. He appeared as a guest as a several primetime series and transitioned into a career production soap opera genre. His first soap role was David Walker in 1971, 1972, and on Bright Promise 1969, 1972. Anyways, he later joined the Young and Restless as George Curtis. His breakout role came in 1978 when he joined the cast of General Hospital's Luke Spencer. Shares the same name as me. But anyway, for his work as Luke, Jerry was working on to record 8 Daytime Emmy Awards while serving lead actor of the drama series for part of his retirement. In addition to his role as Luke, Gary had a prominent supporting role as a Weird Al Yankovic comedy, UHF, in 1989. Other nominated films include Johnny Gets a Gun in 1971, Joyous in 1977, Structures in 1981, Teacher's Pet, which I have seen as a Fear, good movie, by the way. Take notes, Raspberry Awards. It was 2004, Fish Tank in 2009. He He was born on May 29th, 1947, in Crowville, Utah, to Dana Nee Anderson and Russell Dean Gurry. He was one of 4 children. Dana was a homemaker and bookkeeper. Russell was a contractor who owned a construction business. He was raised in Mormon faith by his parents, who were both members of the Church of Jesus Christ in Latter-day Saints. In 1984, he marched to the San Diego Urban Tribune that although he was credited in the faith base of bringing the giving the Sword family base. He also expressed his sense of veneration, steaming for his philosophies and justice. One of 53 students who graduated North Summit High School in Crowville. He went on to attend the University of Utah, okay, for a full-year scholarship in 1967. While he was sophomore year, he relocated to Los Angeles, as being discovered by Jack Alberston, okay, and joined the tour company of Subject Was Roses, okay. Now, his career began with this. He made his first appearance on television in the episode of Room 222, 2022 era, where he appeared as All in the Family as Roger, a quirky and fresh character who was impersonated to be a gay man by the series' lead character Archie Bonkers, my dad. It was due to the way he was dressed and presented himself during the series episode, judging books by cover. He also appeared in Mod Squad, Max, Marcus Moby, M.D., The Streets of San Francisco, The Barge Family, and Bobby Jones. His first daytime role was an NBC soap opera, Bright Promise, from 1971 to 1972. He joined the cast of Young the Restless and Rapist George Curtis. After 6 months in the role, he was asked to be resigned the result, with plans to rehabilitate the role. He declined the offer of the ship to focus towards motion pictures. In 1978, Gary was hired to a 13-week story arc to play Luke Spencer in the ABC soap opera General Hospital. Luke Spencer became a hitman and rapist to fall in love with severely married his victim, Loris Weber, played by Jane Francis. His portrayal of Luke Spencer on General Hospital became a regular role. His pairing of Luke and Laura became a sensation. In the 1981 wedding of Luke and Laura holds the record of them as the highest rated soap opera episodes of all time. Jerry holds the tradition of win of the record of 8 Daytime Emmy Awards and outstanding lead actor in the drama series. Wow. First nominated in 1980, and that's for his first win in 1982. He was nominated again in 1983, the same year he exited the role. He briefly returned in 1984. In the next several years, he took roles in Sphere and television productions, as well as several films, but not reached his desired level of success in those endeavors. Despite the part of his work as Luke Spencer, filmmakers pigeonholed Jerry based on solely the fact that he was a soap actor. Oliver Stone initially cast him as Salvador, but was discovered the offer after learning about him being a soap actor. But in question of effort to distance himself from General Hospital, he actually saw the role without Yankovic's film debut, UHF, 1989. That's one is quietly, sorry about that, everyone. But anyways, I was scientist Philo, named for television pioneer Philo Farnsworth. Jerry, a fan of Yankovic's, went on so far to grow his hair out like Albert Einstein. I know he was boring to me, in my opinion. And stay on in characters Phil when meeting the film's casting team, he immediately landed the role. Wow. In 1991, he returned to General Hospital as Luke's cousin and look like Bill Attridge. Jerry expressed a desire to play a different character than Luke, my name, anyway. However, due to poor feedback, the viewing public, Bill Attridge was killed off, and Gary resumed his role as Luke in 1993, when Gene Francis returned to General Hospital. Wow. It was nominated in 1997, 1998, with Daytime Emmys for Outstanding Lead Actor, and had a second win in 1999, and then third 2000. He received another nomination in 2003, and had his fourth win in 2004. When Jerry won for the fifth time in 2006, he set the record the most lead actor wins. Jerry received another Emmy nomination in 2007. And in 2008, he again set the record the most lead actor wins for the sixth Emmy for this outstanding lead actor. Wow. Now, Jerry set a record in 2012 with his seventh daytime Emmy win, and again in 2015 with his eighth win for outstanding lead actor in the drama series after 16 nominations with the same role as Joe Hospital's Luke Spencer. Now, Gary publicly announced on Friday, May 8th, 2015 that he'll be leaving his role in General Hospital. Jerry finishes taping his last scenes in General Hospital set on June 23rd, 2015. His last air date was July 27, 2015. He later made a cameo appearance on the May 2017 episode specialized in the retirement of Ghost star Jan Elliott, who played Luke's former on-screen wife, Tracy Garming. Wow. Well, I know. Thanks part of Jerry's death, he filmed a scene with former General Hospital co-star Andrew Swab, which served as his final acting credit. Okay, now, the comedy movie HF, something like that, was an expression of Jerry's dramatic roles. He also appeared in 1987's Doorways, which is with hip-hop trio The Fat Boys. He also appeared in more than 50 stage plays. Wow. Including an award-winning one-man titled Human Strategies in 1996. His personal life and death. Wow. He was an uncle of Brandon Steele. Wow, okay. An American professional golfer. In 2010, the third appearance of the Wendy Williams show, which is still bad now, he disclosed that he had a brief relationship with Alyssa Taylor in the early 80s. He met Gloria Gamba in February 1995 and married in February 2019. Following Gary's retirement in 2015, the couple moved to the Netherlands, where Gary had a home in Amsterdam for years. His death and tribute is said like this. He died in the Netherlands in his home on December 14th, 2020, last Sunday. He was 78 years old. His death was in the tribute with a combination of roles following a surgery person 3 days later. Wow. Now, numerous figures of the entertainment industry, some of whom were former co-stars and collaborators, paid to Gary, including Maurice Bernard, Sarah Jo Brown, Gene Francis, Chemery Magara, Emma Sams, Rick Springfield, might not pronounce it, sorry, and John Samos, eventually Joe Hospital executive producer Frank Vanelli, and the National Academy of Intelligent Arts and Sciences issued statements in regard to his staff. Sarah's posted on X, formerly known as Twitter at that time. Francis described herself as a spoiled, thanks to Gary in regards to leading man to the rest of my life. Wow. Yeah, it's definitely. Now, my next step has to do with Rob Reiner. Speaking of that, anyway, it was devastating, I know, but it's hard to believe about this last one. Anyway, and this one's going to be difficult to you as well. Now, born Robert Norman Reiner. Now, he was an American filmmaker and actor. Now, I have been a filmmaker all my life, so this would be difficult to talk about. Anyways, Reiner began his career as an actor before translating to filmmaking, directing a series of acclaimed American studio films across multiple genres. He received numerous accolades, including 2 positive Emmy Awards, as well as nominations for the Academy Award, a BAFTA Award, and 9 Golden Globe Awards. He He was honored as a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1989 and received a Academy Award tribute to the film later in 2014. 3 of his films have been inducted in the National Film Industry. He was a part as the actor portraying Michael Mike Sarek in the CBS sitcom On the Family in 1971 and 1979. Well, they earned him 2 Primetime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Supporting Actor in the Comedy Series. Now, on film, he acted on Full Moment in the Trade in 1987, Sleepers in Seattle in 1993, Bulls of Broadway in 1994, The First Wives of the Club in 1996, Pines Cars in 1998, Ed TV in 1999, Wolf on Wall Street in 2013. He also played Bob Day in the sitcom New Girl in 2012 to 2018. Albert Schweitzer dramedy series The Bear in 2025. He made his director of film debut with the heavy metal mockery This Is Bottle Tap in 1984. Now, he already claimed by directing his dramatic world comedy The Sure Fate in 1985, the comedy-age drama Stand By Me in 1986, adventure romance The Princess Bride in 1987, the romantic comedy Where Harry Meets Sally in 1989, the political horror thriller Mystery in 1990, the regional drama Feel Good Man in 1992. It's nominated for Academy Award Best Picture and, of course, the political romance movie American Press in 1995. Yeah, I was born. But anyway, on December 14th, 2025, which is last Sunday, he and his wife Michelle were found dead in their Los Angeles home. The son Nick Wire has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. Wow. This is sad, you know. I know, this is difficult. Anyway, he was born into a Jewish family in the Bronx, New York City on March 6, 1947. His parents are the actors Elizabeth and Charles Weyer. Similar to the poet and playwright and author Andy writer and painter, actor, director Lucas Weyer. Wow. During his childhood, he would live in a 48 Bonnie Whitmore Road, New York. He made a television acting debut at age 14 on a series called Manhunt. Wow. He attended Beverly Hills High School and studied at UCLA Film School. At age 19, he and actor Larry Bishop were part of the Emperor Group, and part of his opening act from Cameron McGray for Hungry One Club in San Francisco. His career began in early 1960s, where he served as a training operation in the Bucks County Playhouse in New Hope, Pennsylvania. He was credited as Robert Briner. He was a non-speaking role of Thomas, the horse wagger and wagon trade season 5 episode for 22, the Robert Burns story starring Dean Jones, which aired on February 27, 1952. In the late 60s, he had spin roles on several television shows including Batman, That Girl, The Anchor Show, Room 222, Girl Power USNC, and finally, The Barry Hillbillies. During this period, he also appeared in several films, including some directed by his father, such as Where's Papa in 1970. So during he began his career in television writing for the Sumford Boys Brothers when that comedy out in 1968 to 1969, wrote alongside Steve Martin as his writing partner. Wow. For 2 years later, Wire began widely known as playing Michael Selleck on his Bunker's brother's son-in-law on Norman Lear's 1970 civilization sitcom. Sitcom, that's what it's called, but On the Family, which is adapted from the British sitcom Till Death of Due Part. Anyways, the series was the most watched television program in the United States with consecutive seasons, from 1971 to 1976. The character's nickname, Meathead, given him his continuous father-in-law Archie, became closely associated with Reiner, even after he left the role in Savage Show as director. Fortunately, during association, Reiner remarked, I could win the Nobel Prize and then write Meathead wins the Nobel Prize. Well, okay. Anyways, For his performance, Rayner won 2 Emmy Awards, received 2 initial nominations, and earned 5 Golden Globe nominations. In October 1971, Rayner appeared as a guest on the episode Partridge Family. The following year, he, Bill Muskin, and Gary Einsberg created a sitcom, The Supper, on the BBC, starring Richard S. Casarello. The series is about the life of the hired Italian-American superintendent of New York City apartment building. It ran for 1 season during the summer of 1972. Rayner's career turned towards films. The decades later, he returned to television with the recurring role of New Girl from 2012 to 2018. Wow. Anyways, move on. The beginning of the 80s, he established himself as the director of these so successful Hollywood films, spanning multiple genres. His early works include cult classics, such as The Rock Band Mockingbird, Spinal Tap 1984, the coming-age drama Stand By Me in 1986, and the coming fantasy anyways, The Princess Bride in 1987. Anyways, he eventually collaborated with film editor Robert Linton, who also worked on solo films with fellow director actor Christopher Guest. Anyways, he directed a number of commercial and commercially successful films for his company Castle Rock Entertainment. Musical to the romantic comedy Harry Meets Sally 1989, which has been ranked among the all-time best in his genre. This tense for Mystery 1990, which Kathy Bates won the Academy Award for Best Actress. And his most commercially successful work for the Missouri courtroom drama, Real Good Man 1992, was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Picture. Special films directed by Rayner included the British drama American Press in 1995, Year Was Born. There, the courtroom drama film Goes to Mississippi in 1996, and uplifting comedy The Bucket List 2007. Excuse me. Anyways, in 2015, he directed a semi-biographical film being co-written by his son Nick. Wow, it's just stupid, I know. Anyways, Rayner continued that and supported roles in a number of films and television shows, including Full Mom on the Train in 1987. Sleepless in Seattle 1993. Anyways, Boys in Broadway 1994. First Wives Club 96. Party Colors in 98. And TV in 1999. And Wolf of Wall Street in 2013. He also appeared in several of his own films. Those nominees A Fox Domination, The Migration, Marty Berge, in The Business Bottle Tap. Wow. Other acting roles in movies include The Story of Us in 1999, Alex Emma in 2001, made a supporting role in his journalism drama Shocking All in 2017. He was also paradised himself with his cameos in works such as Dickie Roberts, former Charles Star in 2003, and 30 Rock in 2010. In 2016, let's go down for more. Anyway, Rayner lined up with his son Nick Rayner to direct the film, being charged. He also had a long history of personal struggles. Wow, which included urgent behavior, becoming a drug user at a young age, and having 18 stays in the rehab by 2016, and being homeless. Yeah, I agree. He and Nick Rayner told people in the 2016 interview that that they have only started to become closer during the time they were making the film. In November 2023, Rayner and journalist Siobhan O'Brien, launched the 10-part podcast series, Who Killed JFK. In December 2023, Rayner opened a primetime CBS drama, special, Dave Van Dyke, 98 Years of Magic, was attributed to in combination with Dave Van Dyke. His final film, Spinal Tap 2, then continues in 2025, was released 3 months before his death. Wow. Now, his personal views goes like this and activism goes like this, I'm not going to read everything, but that's just me. He's a rainbow activist. He's co-founder of the American Foundation of Equal Rights. Okay, mentioned with the court challenge against California Proposition 8 that bans same-sex marriage in the state. Wow. 1998, Ryder chaired the combination campaign to pass California Proposition 10, the California Children Families Assistance with that were created first 5 California, a program in early childhood development service funded by the tax of tobacco products. Anyway, he served as an organization first chairman from 1999 to 2006. He lobbied parliamentary as an anti-smoking argument, led by his likeness being used by security in the South Park episode Butt Out, when he was displayed as a moderate abuse controversial target. Wow. He first under criticism the campaign for Proposition 282, something like that. Bob measure for the spawn to public preschools. Wow. Were served as chair of the first 5 commission. He resigned from promotion on March 29, 2006. Adult later concluded that the commission have not violated state law and have cleared legal authority to conduct public advertising campaigns related to preschool. However, the reported that the commission awarded more than $77 million in media contracts without reviewing their costs. Proposition 82 already failed to win approval. Okay. Now, I have to scroll down because I'm not going to talk about the rest. Sorry. But personal life, okay? He married actress and director Penny Marshall. Anyway. In 1971, he adopted Marshall's daughter, actress Tracy Ryder, from a previous marriage with Michael Henry. Mayor Marshall divorced in 1981. While directing Henry to meet Sally, Ryder introduced the photographer WebShow Singer. The meeting not only influenced his decision to change the film's editing, but this also led to marriage in 1989. They had 3 children, sons Jake and Nick, and daughter Romy. In 1997, Ryder and Singer found the I'm Your Child Foundation, and in 2004, they established Parents Actions for Children, a non-profit organization with the dual purpose of raising awareness of the importance of the child's early years and producing and distributing celebrity-hosted educational video for parents. Okay? Advancing public policy through parental education classes, but not sorry. Instead, his childhood home was not registered Jewish, although he did have a bar by cemetery. His child had been activist as response to whatever this was, and helped Providence. It was Hitler, anyway. He invited the activist in the January 13, 2012 episode of the Real Time of Bill Maher. He later said that it was gender organized religion, and it was some of my issues the ideas of Bollinism. In September 2025, he said that I'm Jewish, but I believe the teachings of Jesus, and I believe in due honors of that, and I believe in forgiveness. Their eldest son Jay has been involved in filmmaking, and it was a news report in Houston, Texas. His second son Nick entered the first number of stays in drug rehab at the age of 14. It was lonely, you know, but I know but I don't like it when he shoot their parents. I'm sorry, but so in the house, he rehabbed, served for years. He had been arrested and charged with murder of his parents. It's difficult, I know. The youngest child, daughter Ruby, is a filmmaker and had a very close relationship with them. She's going to her father's body, in the Brentwood home, soon after the killing. And it was sad to me, I know. Anyways, death tributes and reactions. And that's it, okay? On December 14th, 2025, Rare 38 and his wife Michelle, 68, were found dead in their Brentwood, Los Angeles home. by a daughter Romy, upon Stabwood. It was reported killed in the early morning hours of the day. The Los Angeles Fire Department responded to the medical aid call in the residence at 3:38 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Shortly after phoning the police, Romy called Billy Crystal, his well-time friend and collaborator, who rushed to the home with his wife. Well, on December 14th of that year, the same night, Los Angeles police arrested Nick Ryer, the second son of Rob and Michelle Ryer, in Spalding Park area, inspection of murder. This is sad to me, I know. Now, Nick had been living with his parents at the time, and it was lonely, I know. Rob and Nick have been attending a Christmas party, unfortunately, hosted by Conan O'Brien. And I know, Nick should have attended, I know, on the evening of December 14th, have gotten this argument. And it's difficult, I know. Nick had disrupted the party and made guests feel uneasy. This is a difficult time, I know. Sources attended the party, but wish to remain anonymous and told New York Times. The loud argument I have ever seen between Nick and Rob started after Rob told him his behavior at the party was not appropriate. Upon his arrest, following the murders, Nick was held without a bail, the Twin Towers commercial fatality. On December 16th, which is yesterday, he was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, special crimes and murders. They're scheduled his first court appearance today. Rob Ryder was 78 years old. His wife Michelle was only 68 years old. Jim's reactions goes like this. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass called Rayner's death a disturbing loss in our city and our country. Yeah, exactly. Signing creative work and measuring the social justice. California Governor Gavin Newsom said he was heartbroken praising writers, Bombas, and Fanzami. And his brushes with children and civil rights. Exactly. Close friend and collaborators Albert Brooks, Billy Crystal, Larry David, Martin Short, Barry Levinson, Mark Sherman, Alan Silvio, from that. Released a joint statement which he ran the part saying this. There was no other director which had his range. He was always the top of this game. His charm audiences, they trusted them. They also wrote this. Michelle Rob Rayner, despite a great deal of their lives for the merriment of the civil servants. They were on special force together diamond. Selfishness and inspiring. We were their friends, and we were missing forever. Exactly. Now, number of figures in the entertainment industry are paid tribute to writer including Steve Austin, Kevin Bacon, Alec Baldwin, Kevin Bates, Jane Lee Davis, Curtis, John Cusack, Michael Douglas, Zoe Ismail, Carrie Always, James Fonda, Morgan Freeman, Whoopi Goldberg, Rod Howard, Eric Eisel, Stephen King, Jerry Seinfeld, Julius Louis-Dreyfus, Demi Moore, Ben Stiller, Barbara Streisand, Arnold Schwarzenegger, James Woods, and Robin Wright. The cast stand by me, including Corey Feldman, Jerry O'Connell, and Will Wheatman, also lead statements to their memories of Ryder. Talk show hosts also paid tribute to Ryder, including Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers, and Howard Stern. Now, former U.S. President, let me go down more. There we go. Former U.S. President Bill Clinton released a statement in which he ran in part saying this. Hillary and I were heartbroken at the tragic deaths of our friends, Rob and Michelle Ryder. They inspired and uplift millions of their work in film and television. Good, generous people that made everyone who knew them better through the activities for citizenship and the events of influence diversity, setting an example for us all to follow. Former U.S. President Barack Obama said this, and his wife, Michelle Obama, were heartbroken knowing Norris believed this good of this people. Michelle was knowing that she and Barack were due to meet the writers in person on the day of the deaths. Former U.S. President Joe Biden praised the couple's relations, and they said that we take solace in knowing they work to live in a generous time. Former Vice President Kamala Harris described the couple as their friends. President Donald Trump wrote on Truth Social saying this: a very sad thing happened. Stan Ryder and his wife reportedly died due to anger that he caused over with Trump derangement syndrome. Wow. Trump's reaction was widely criticized, exactly, by both Republicans and Democrats. Republicans critics, including Mike Waller, Don Bacon, and Stephen 70 Bice, as well as opponents of Trump such as Terry Green, Thomas Mason, that after he was posted during the event that afternoon, Trump his was very bad for our country. I think not Trump, to be honest. I'm sorry, but he's a good man. Sorry, it's just range person. Shut up. Anyways, accusing him to be one of the beyond the Russia. Oh, stop it. It's not Hawks, really. Anyway, I learned my lesson about the Hawks back in 2014 for Robert Williams, but it's not Hawks in my opinion anymore, to be honest. Anyway, but move on. A reference to Russia aviation the urgent compression period. That's not true. I'm sorry, but move on. And my next topic has to do with Abraham Quintalia, born Abraham Isaac Quintalia Jr. He was an American singer, songwriter, and record producer. He was father of manager torrential singer Selena after her murder on March 31st, 1995. Abraham developed herself safeguarding and promoting Selena's image throughout the various evidence. The Quinlan family has been subject to public criticism by some fans and journalists who have been raised relations about the correlation of Selena's images. Probably regarding her policy releases, he eventually responded to such criticism hurtful. Both stated that he was become numb following years of negative comments, stating that he was no longer bothering him. He was born in a Mexican family to Coronatory, Texas on February 20th, 1939. Anyway, he began his music career as a member of the singing group in Dinos in 1956. He left the group in the late 1960s, eventually retired from the music to raise a family. After discovering Selena's singing talent, he created a band Selena Da Dinos. The group was composed of Selena and her two siblings, A.B. Quinta and Selena Quinta, when I have pronounced it, sorry. As management, the group became a major success in Quinta's genre. He became an executive producer in 1997 Broadway film about Selena's life, in which he was portrayed by actor Edward James Olmos. He portrayed the double of Selena the series in 2020 until 2021 on Netflix alongside the Selena Law Dinos 2025 documentary. On May 2016, Abraham appointed Selena as his successor, the chief executive officer of his Q Production Studios. He was born in 1949 on February 20th in Coronado, Texas. Albion Quinn Sr., an automobile repair and umpire in Maria Colombian 1990 to 1972. I'll be right back. Stand by and see how long this is. Oh, it's an hour and 13 minutes. Stand by. I'm back, folks. Sorry about that. I had to check my episode and see how long this is, but I'm almost finished with death topics, to be honest. Anyway, let's continue on. Now, Aubrey and Maria eventually became known as Aubrey and Mary, respectively in the commentary. Anyways, Aubrey was the firstborn child of 7 children to Aubrey and Mary, something like that. He grew up as Catholic. He grew up in community characterized racial segregation, something like that. Anyway, now, where Spanish was spoken at home and English at school. Oh, wow. Nations between the distant social worlds of Spanish-speaking Mexican Americans and English-speaking white Americans in South Texas. His child American is transitional period for Mexican Americans as their social standings and pull surgery following World War II. Returned Mexican American soldiers have impressions greater equally among Americans from other regions of the United States. Refuse to accept second-class citizenship in their hometowns. Crucially, Mexican Americans get win school board positions. Another public office for the first time. In 1953, Abby and Mary left the Catholic Church to become Jehovah's Witnesses. Wow. They were born the early pioneers of the border movement in the Latin Americans. The party combination of presidents and dominations. Modern time 14-year-old Abby, oh my god, hang on, let me scroll down. Come on, move. It's not letting me, anyway. Developed instruments and music, forming a singing group called the Drum Drops with 2 members of the high school choir. His foundation expanded on the after attending the Y Dance in 1997. 57 anyway. We attended a trio called the Dinos, performing English singing songs. The group is composed of Bobby Rilla, Surreal Perez Manat, and Lupi Barrera. Students of Roy Miller High School. A few months later, upon learning that Barrera planned to leave this group, he approached Leon Burris about to join his replacement. Okay? He began president at the school, forming parties, and soon became a spur member of the Dinos. The Dinos were formed without pay until they received the tip of the graduation party. Following this, okay, he proposed that the group has been charging charging for their performances. A suggestion that they eventually met residents from Rowan Prairies with that. Artists met with refused to pay, and the group would lose opportunities to perform. The proposals changed, however, once patrons proved willingness and competitive with them, leading parties to excuse me, sorry folks, anyway. The update for increasing their performance speed. In 1957, 18-year-old Abby left high school to pursue a music career. Mary strongly disapproved of Abby's music career. The Dinos soon impressed the improved pianist Joe Robes, bassist Joey Gravio. Later joined forces with an instrumental group called the Jesters. Okay, now who they had to meet the talent show. Eventually, the Dinos focused on performing traditional pop music in the style of Four Aces and Metal Brothers. Now, before they mentioned the doo-wop trend, there was gaining popularity among teenagers. Born biographer Joe Nick Polowski, his involvement with the Dinos brought him a sense of attention, points, and self-worth that he had never personally experienced. Violation Polowski's rights that supplies any effort of alcohol and drugs. Wow. The Dinos record So Hard to Tell, Charlie's Bright and West recording studio in Providence, Christie, was released a single on J.W. Fox, a label home by musician Charlie Arias for that. Now, Harriet Springs became acquainted with the Dinos after Laura, who was delivered beer to Harriet's studio. Okay? Encouraged him to listen to the group, and Bright with West especially became the Dinos manager. Prominently the single at Key Studios, KYS Radio and bookings for that performance across Corpus Christi, Kingsville, Woodsboro, and the other towns in the Texas bars were Brad. Okay, in 1959, Calling So Hard to Tell has become one of the most played songs in KEYS radio station. Anyway, the following single, Give Me One More Chance, written by Teddy Weisfeld, received instead of airplane covered Christie in Houston. Okay, above Berea and semi the record sold 150,000 copies. With that, he probably considered the figure inflated with that. The professional cycle for sorry to tell, the Dials performed without pay. Wow. However, following the success of Give Me One More Chance, which led the circle and tower demands, he began slowly the group was capacitated. Wow. While on tour, the Dials concerned racial discrimination, including an incident in which the North Beach club owner paid them not to perform, realizing they were made up of Mexican kids. And another performance of Dials were forced to lie in the back of the bus and deny male accommodations that were extended to proper performers. Special singles, including the originals Twist and Iron, and two covers by Your Pony and the Cut Lovers Holiday sold poorly. Wow. In October 1961, he received a draft notice and reported to San Antonio, Texas, where Frisco, R.E.M. and parties accommodated him, agreeing that that all three were accepted. Wow. They're applied to the Dutch session, the Army's special entertainment division. Wow. Now, Laura failed to the task, but R.E.M. received the induction notice that the month that and was drafted into the Army. Initially, wow, okay. Initially, R.E.M. viewed military service the opportunity to travel. For he spent most of his time stationed at Fort Lewis. During his service, he met Marcia Somius with that, and so is Eastern Washington, married on June 8th, 1953. Shortly after R.E.M.'s discharge out of duty, he gave birth to his son, A.B. Cornelius with that. Struggling to support his family while working in Flyco Denny's, he decided to return to Corpus Christi. But his sleepy working delivery man before resuming his musical career with the Dinos. But their first performance following his return to Houston, Texas, following all his largely composed Mexican farm workers, was met for Darlison, forcing the band to leave the stage abruptly. Okay? By this time, music taste among Mexican audiences have shifted from English language pop and rock music, heavy metal wise, that is. Which had been popular before R.E.M.'s military service, to Spanish language music. Because the Dinos did not know any Mexican music, the club owner refined the audience, ensured deputies ignored the band for angry patrons, and the encouragement of Haria, okay? The transfer to Spanish language music became Los Dinos. Los Dinos recorded Con Esther Capa, okay? Anyways, the compilation act offered by Haria as an introduction to Spanish language music, distributed through Haria's Amatol Records. The single received airplay on Spanish language radio stations across Texas, Arizona, California, and Chicago. Following the success of Con Esther Capa, my dad, R.E.M. remarked, from that time on, we did concerto music. Unable to finance a full album, Harriet advised the group to sign the Reynolds Falcon Records, which is their first Spanish language album, Con Esther Capa in 1954. Although Arias composed all 9 tracks, photograph appeared on the backup cover alongside Los Dinos. A decision that referred Abraham. He already recalled this. Wherever Los Dinos went, the girls went area. Some of that, the deal with Falcon Records afforded Los Dinos greater exposure than ever before. As Reynolds saw one the most expensive restriction network in Texas. During this period, the band expanded its lineup to include the horn sessions, some of that. Anyways, featuring 2 trumpets, alto sax, and the tenor saxophone. While Eminem assumed responsibility for bookings after releasing 3 albums on the Falcon Records, Ross Donnelly transferred to Bell Records, while their issue hers composed was Treasure as their debut single. On June 29th, 1997, just the day after my birthday, but and it's years before that. Anyway, Marcia gave birth to Suzette Cordelia. The following year, Ross Donnelly released Ross Donnelly's Go-Go, which Politsky described the following, showcasing this group's dull appeal and strongest bleeding element of soul and R&B, while retaining a solid touring the Mexican American audience in Texas. By 1959, however, audience began to dwell and ticket sales declined. He eventually chose to leave the band and focus on supporting his family. While Ross Donnelly continued the performance without him, virtually disbanded in 1974. Wow. 1970 to 1981. Life After Life Donnelly and, of course, Papaganias. He moved with his family to Lost Lake Jackson, Texas, where he worked with Dollar Central Company as a shipping clerk and tall motor operator. On April 2016, 1971, he gave birth to his final daughter, his final child, Selena Cordelia Perez. Well, back then it was called Selena Cordelia, something like that. Anyways, although Eminem adopted a more commercial lifestyle and considered his family to his musical career was behind him. Now, he continued to pursue his passion privately, often singing in his spare time. Began teaching A.B. to play the bass guitar. During which Selena, seeking attention, began to sing along. But reviving her singing ability, Eminem recalled this. I saw the continue in my dreams, end quote. But legend corroborated and soundproofed the family's garage to create the rehearsal space and began playing music with his children. Now, he formed a band comprising his children, A.B. on bass, Selena as lead vocalist, envisioning cousin from Arizona as a drummer. Wow. When the cousin's father demanded his return, Selena was tasked as drummer. Suzette expressed comfort with drumming and was eventually resisted to participating and fighting against it. Wow. Although initially investigated, the children participated regularly in rehearsals and performances. She also admitted that she's harmony and long-stayed dislike of performing as a drummer. Wow. Having repressed her hatred for the world for many years. Eminem was retained brave in the band. The children frequently opted promoting his brothers advised him to ease up. Over time, however, the children learned to like playing music. The first performance that took place at PTA meeting at Selena's elementary school. Now, he instructed his children to remain open-minded towards a wide range of musical styles and introduced them to the gospel group, the Pearls. As a result of their exposure, Selena developed inspiration in African American music, as well as a soft rock band, Air Supply. Wow. In summer 1980, Eminem and Jim Sura opened up the Mexican restaurant called Papagayos, Parrots, that for short is a Spanish name. But built a stage platform so his children can perform for the restaurant's patrons. Okay? And they all enjoy their meal. The restaurant suffered with the recession in 1981 and it forced to close on March 1st, 1981. Wow. It's sad, man, I know. In November, Eminem took in musical reservations and recorded to promise custody after his family was forced to sell their home to avoid bankruptcy. Wow. So he Ross Donnelly as a father performed in the street corners, weddings, and any other social function was provide income to the family was formed. In 1984, Selena Los Dinos were signed with Freddie Records. Recorded and released their debut album entitled Selena Los Dinos. Selena was criticized by Freddie, Madras CEO of Freddie Records, for being a young female in a male-dominated genre. He transferred his children to Records, and being released their second album, The New Girl Hotel. This led to Les Dinos appearance as a musical guest on the Johnny Carson show. By 1989, Selena released 8 long plays on many Garner's independent labels, GP Productions and Record Producer Productions. The Bobs launched Selena's nominations with Toyota's Music Album Awards began in 1986. Wow. Selena's performance in the TMA, some of that, caught the eye of Joe Bayer, performed head in Sony Music Land, some of that. Okay, now, Bayer signed Selena with capital EMI. He later said that he signed Selena to become the P5 with him, discovered the next glorious Symphon. Anyway, he won the 1993 Grammy Award for Best Mexican American Album for Selena Live. Wow. IBM opened this recording studio talent management firm Q Productions in late 1993, while Sylvette ran marketing for artists like signed from the label. Her 1994 album, Amor Payo, became the biggest hit-selling Latin album of all time. Amor Payo was certified 20 times platinum, Latin type for the RIAA, that sold over 2 million copies, eventually sold over 5 million worldwide. Selena's sales as fans more increased, and paved the way to achieve her dream, recording an English crossover album in the process. Sadly, death of Selena goes like this, and I'll talk about her death afterwards. Okay, his father's death afterwards. On March 31st, 1995, Quinn's youngest child, Selena, was murdered by a former president of the Selena fan club, manager Selena's boutiques, Selena Excella, and former friend, Yovena, Surveyor. Now, soon after Selena's death, everyone and his family said the Selena Foundation, and it's a charitable organization which assists children, psychics, and appear on numerous television specials about Selena. He continued to produce new ads in music and film industries with his record company Q Productions. In 1997 Broadway film Selena, he was portrayed by Edward James Olmos, while Christian himself served as his co-producer. In 2020 Netflix miniseries Selena the Series, he was portrayed by Ricardo I don't know his last name. Anyway, in 2021, he was released a memoir, The Father's Dream, My Family Story Music. He died in Corpus Christi on December 13th, 2025, his last Saturday. He was 86 years old. But next step, Tom has to have Susie Figgis. I don't know. But born that name, she was a British casting director who worked on numerous films, including Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, The Full Monty, and Killing Field. She died last Friday. She was probably around 77 years old. And my last step, Tom has to have Peter Green. Born Peter Green, without an E. She was an American actor and character actor. He was generally known for portraying villains. He was best known for his roles in 1994 films The Mask, which he played in my antagonist Darien Turtle, and Pulp Fiction, where he portrayed Zed, and Cedric Security Guard. Some credits include Laws and Gravity in 1992, Judgment Night in 1993, Clean Shaven in 1994, Iron Siege 2 Dark Territory in 1995. He was born in the United States. Let's see. Is that it? Oh yeah, that was it. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. makes sense. He also was suspected, not same year. He later appeared in Kiss and Tell in '97, Boost Streak in 1999, Trade Day in 2001, The Black Dynasties in 2007, Life on Mars in 2009, New York in 2016, Casual in 2023. He was born October 8th, 1955 in Montclair, New Jersey. He's one of 3 siblings, with a brother and sister. He ran away from home at age 15 and was homeless for a few years. Wow. He did not pursue a career in acting until his mid-20s. Wow. Now, he mainly served roles in cinema and television in the early 1990s. Wow. Now, he had roles in Pulp Fiction, The Mask, Clean Shaven, The Usual Suspects in 1994 and 95 respectively. And Pulp Fiction, Green acted in Zed, The Mask, he saw him play the villainous Dorian Tyrell. Green played the Star's Rise, Pierre Weir, Clean Shaven. The Usual Suspects saw him play the character of Redfoot. Wow. Green often played villains such as Judgment Night, Under Siege 2, Dark Territory, Dre Days, Crossword Numbers Officer, and Bonnie Hire. Now, he was working with director Jordan Allen twice. Once as the film Kiss and Tell in 1997, a dark comedy turned again 4 years later in The Gentleman Bonnet, a.k.a. Bandits, a.k.a. Gentleman B. The Evergreen's arrest in 98 for drug-related crimes. Allen was put on the polyactor through rehab again through the second film. Initially, after coming up upon Green's doing heroin with Mike Starr, he was forced to replace Green's voice because of the vocal problems caused by drugs. Despite these problems, Allen voiced to Green to producer Toby Jaff for the movie Boost Streak, which Green played Martin Lawrence nominees. Wow. Now, he continued to work mostly as a character actor and appeared in a short-lived television drama Black Colonies. Wow. He also appeared as a policeman in Poetry Mob Deep top video for ABCs, as well as Philip Photo character for Alice Payne's video for Fed Up. Greens appeared in the opening scene of the premiere of the FX series Justified, where he was characterized as a fuckish Pierre Weller lookalike. Anyways, by reviewer Toby announced it, Private AV Club. Anyways, he appeared in 2 films by director Eric Brian Hughes. Turnabout and Exit 8-0, something like that, was, Green was appearance in the digital series, The Jersey Split Connection by filmmaker Tim Farrington. He also, was featured in the 2020 TV series For Life, The Small World Allen brother, named Wild Bill Miller. By the time of his death, he had given the role of upcoming Mickey Rourke movie called Mascots. It was involved in at least 2 other projects at that time. Sadly, he passed away on December 12, 2025, which is last Friday. He had 1 son. He struggled with the heroin, cocaine addiction in the 90s. He was arrested for possessing crack cocaine in 2007. He was found dead in Laura Heath's son, the bar in Manhattan, New York City. That day, last Friday, he was 60 years old. Neighbors discovered Green's body. Revealed in New York City Daily News, that Green was found laying on the floor, face down, first injury and blood. Wow. Police reporting that narrative note that is also confirmed that he would be found where Green claimed, "I'm still Westy." Okay. Now let's do a more science press regards to not 1, not 2, but 10 death topics right now. thank you. Rest in peace, these 10 people. I'm sorry that it took me so long to do Crazy Bunch web shows in 136. Maybe this upcoming Sunday I'll do it. But right now it may be a maybe. So yeah. But anyways, guys, that was the Crazy Bunch web show episode number 136. I hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned. Next going to be Crazy Bunch web shows 137, which will be our Christmas episode for you guys out there. Till next time, suggest by baby. With more Crazy Bunch web show episodes for you guys very soon. Till then, the Jersey out. See ya.